I got severely injured. Just trying to be the cool mom at school. Guess it'll be the last time I do that.
Yeah.
It was the winter dance at my kids' elementary school.
Ooh.
And there was a DJ there, DJ Metis, Mr. Metis. And he was really good. And so he was just like cranking out all the hits, which makes me sound really dorky when I say that.
Yeah.
I'm aware. But all of a sudden, like the kids, by the way, when we say school dance, what we should just call it is like a jump along.
Yes.
Because for the full 2.5 hours, all anybody did was just jump the whole entire time. Just an entire cafeteria full of jumping.
And I didn't know they even did elementary school dances.
Yeah.
Is this in the day or at night?
It was at night.
Okay.
And they did like 2 shifts where the K through 2 go for an hour and 15, and then the grades 3 through 5 go. And seriously, when the first shift is over, DJ Metis gets on and he's like, all right, thank you, K through 2nd. Have a nice night. And then made him clear. And then the 3rd through 5th can come in and they start dancing, a.k.a. just jumping
the
just
entire time.
nonstop. So a couple of my mom friends and I were standing around and we're like, man, this music's really good. And so we were fighting it. We were kind of like dancing in place. And then we were like, you know what, forget this. Because all of a sudden I hear...
Uh-oh.
You know, it's like my kryptonite. Like,
You're gonna get wild.
I cannot resist when I hear this song. It was just like my body was it was like a magnet. It just pulled me to the dance floor. It did. It just I couldn't even stop it if I wanted to. And so I had a deep tissue massage earlier in the day. Shout out Jessica Odell.
You were loose and limber.
I was loose. I was like getting rid of all the trauma that was stored up in my body emotionally. I'm feeling good. And I don't know if it was because I was extra limber or what, but I hurt my hip really badly. I don't know what I did.
They loosened you up too much.
Yes, I do not know what I did, but oh my God, the next day I woke up and it felt like bone on bone on my hip. It wasn't like a pulled muscle. It just felt like grinding of my hip bone on my, and so that I had to get on the heating pad. I had to take ibuprofen.
That is,
I know,
scary.
it's sad.
Because it's like is that because you're getting older?
It's like old person injury. When you hear hip,
I don't know.
I mean, you're just
Yeah,
dancing.
hip injury.
you're always like, oh, it's an oldie.
Need a hip replacement.
I don't know. Listen to this banger. How can you resist?
Kay's like, ah!
Yeah. I don't know many people that get injured dancing to Whitney Houston.
Now
first,
you do.
Katie.
Now you do.
Interesting.
I don't know. I had to have Ben go to the CVS and get me one of those patches, you know, like the hot patches, because we had a full day we were doing a volunteer thing through our church where we were packing meals for Rise Against Hunger. And so I knew that I was going to be on my feet all day, and it was just so painful. I mean, it still hurts to this day. I don't know. I don't feel like I did any moves out of the ordinary.
What
I normally
can you
do.
replay them? Oh, you probably can't right now.
I really can't. I mean, I would if
You
I
don't
could.
even know what you did.
One issue
don't-
could be that you were at a school dance and you weren't drinking and you're used to associating dancing and drinking together.
I do think that missing what I like to call the fun lube was it.
Because it's just like when
Yeah.
people play cornhole or pool when they're not drinking, they do it sober. They might do other moves they're not used to, or it doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
So you might have went for a move that you typically did not do if you were at a regular.
That could be.
I think it's a big assumption, although she just confirmed it, that you thought Katie wouldn't be drinking at a school function.
Yeah.
I think that's a big jump. I wasn't like
Katie's just playing
assuming
it off.
that.
Deep down inside, I thought she was, but I didn't want to expose her.
I did contemplate having a cocktail before I went, but I was I had to sign people in to get into the dance. So I thought, better not. They might smell it on me.
Yeah. That would be bad.
Yeah, so
Katie's
I waited. But
Nora's mom smells funny.
and that was like one of the worst parts is that all the kids are just jumping. And so finally, because I get called to the dance floor by Whitney Houston herself, rest in peace, I go over to her. Nora's dancing, and she was just kind of like, what are you doing here? Like, like she didn't know what to do with me.
This is for smaller people. Get away, mom.
Mom, you go jump somewhere else. I want to jump here.
This is the young kid jump zone.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, kid jump.
I don't know what happened. I really don't.
Oh, yeah? Well, you might be getting that, like Squid said, hip replacement soon.
It could be. There was one point where there was a full photo booth that was like it was not exactly a photo booth. We had a photographer, and then they had the backdrop, right? And so all the little girls were going over and doing like their best gymnastics moves, and then having the photographer take a picture of them in full bridge and splits and stuff.
Yeah.
And so then, of course, the moms and I get in there, and so we pretended to. It could have been.
I bet
Yeah,
that's what it
maybe.
was.
I pretended to do a split. I could never do one.
I bet that's what it was.
I bet you it was the pretend split.
My legs would fall off.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it was so painful. It's still painful to this
No,
day.
Katie was limping this morning. I was like, oh.
Yes.
What happened? You had a good weekend, huh?
I don't know. Do you think it could have been the massage that just,
Got you? Yeah,
got me loose, and then I just,
sure.
I don't know.
Because your body's not. It went too far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I pushed it.
I pushed it too far at the elementary school dance.
I'm sure I'm not going to be invited back because there were other parents who were like, we wouldn't have.
Wouldn't have done that. Why are you
But-
trying to do a split? 800-682-1075. Tell us about the time you embarrassed yourself by getting hurt in front. It could be in front of a lot of people or just in front of. As long as there was one witness of you embarrassing yourself, getting hurt.
It counts.
Oh yeah.
800-682-1075. Squid.
The most recent, well, I guess
The most recent.
or the most painful one I could probably think of was when I was still in high school, near the parking lot, Northwest Guilford, kind of where the trailers are.
Yep.
You know how in parking lots sometimes they have those big pillars that kind of like stop people from, I guess, bumping into things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I was walking and I was like, oh, I can easily jump over that.
Oh,
So,
no.
like,
Oh, no.
And like I can't remember where I was, but it was like the whole entire class, and we were just walking somewhere, and I was just like casually like try to put my hands on top and jump over, and then it was much taller than I
Expected.
expected.
Yeah.
And then when I jumped, like I just couldn't get my hands and feet in front of me, so I just went straight over and landed on my face.
A lot better than landing on it.
I had to play it off cool like it didn't hurt, but
Yeah.
oh my god, I was in so much pain.
I meant to do that.
Yeah, I popped up and I was like, oh.
You got it fast?
Did
Did you get it fast?
Oh, I popped up immediately,
No.
but I was in so much pain.
Okay.
I was like in so much pain trying
No.
to walk it off.
I will tell you this: is I've seen friends do stuff like that where they
Yeah.
fall. I think you're better off laying on the ground and laughing.
Oh.
Yeah.
If you get too fast, it's like it didn't hurt
It
me
didn't
at all.
hurt. Didn't hurt. We're fine.
You're
Oh,
in
yeah.
high school, but I've seen
Yeah.
friends do that. I'm like, dude, just lay down.
It's
Yeah.
so embarrassing.
It's just like it's just lay on the ground and laugh.
Can I just tell you, though, that is absolutely 100% a dude thing.
Oh, yeah.
There
Oh,
is
yeah,
not
yeah.
a woman alive who's
No,
like, I could clear that.
I can scale that.
No, but we
wall.
don't think that way at all.
Yeah.
It's funny. Dudes are stupid. I've done that before. Not recently. Jason, have you embarrassed yourself or got hurt and then
Of
embarrassed
course
yourself?
I did. One time when I was at P Diddy's house.
Oh yeah.
And Miami was the Super Bowl was packed, and he was having this party, and somehow I don't understand how we were got there or invited there. It was all different people.
But
and
you were.
big
That's the
stars were
point.
there, like Russell Simmons were there, and everything else. And I remember the guy telling me who got us into this thing is like, whatever you do not embarrass yourself. Do not make a scene.
Got it.
So I was like, girl, your best behavior when you're here. So after this party that he had during the Super Bowl, he had like this inflatable screen that we were watching the Super Bowl on, and his pool was open, his hot tub was open. There was his Ciroc liquor that he was showcasing, or the vodka, and all these other, big other rappers and hip hop stars were there. On the way out, we had to call our taxi. Everybody else was like pulling up in like Rolls Royces and Bentleys. We're like, we need to call a taxi. So we were going to the taxi, and I go over his little bridge that was where the goldfish are, whatever fish was there, and my foot got caught in one of the cracks, and it sprained my ankle really bad, really bad, to the point
it's so
where
painful.
I was gonna try to fake it, but literally I got up and I collapsed on the ground again. And the worst part is I knew everybody was leaving and coming, so it's like we kind of went out first because we didn't want to be embarrassed by the taxi. But all these other rappers and like Russell Simmons are all like saying goodbye and leaving, and I could not get up. I could not get up. And I remember
there.
my friend, Carol just bursted out laughing and pointing. And my friend had to pick me up and carry me down the rest of the driveway. Yes. And it was so embarrassing.
I love it.
And-
Like it was your wedding day, you were being carried.
Over the threshold.
But I was just like, I was just trying to make it seem, it was really not that bad. I didn't want the attention. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh gosh, here's this. I knew he shouldn't have came to the party. That type of thing. So I'm like in the worst pain ever. And later that night, it was like a baseball was on the bottom of my ankle. That's how much pain.
Yeah.
in hindsight, maybe I could have got some money off it. I don't know, but I didn't want to at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking back, that was your chance to be a millionaire.
I know.
And you blamed Carol, thinking she was going to be the embarrassment.
Yes.
Yeah.
800-682-1075. Katie embarrassed herself trying to be the cool mom at an elementary school dancing to Whitney Houston, and her hip's broken, I believe. I have too many to even. I'm trying to think of to narrow it down, but one that sticks out. Gosh, there's like 7 that stick out.
I know when we say, have you ever, we're like, no, tell us about the time.
The most embarrassing.
Uh-huh.
I think still the most embarrassing. It wasn't a lot of people, but it was enough. Is when it had iced here. Oh. And we had to come. We always have to be here at work, and I don't have my key fob for some reason, and
how times haven't changed.
No, they haven't. Not at all.
No.
And I'm like, I'm not even going to text Katie because she gets mad anytime I ask her. So I'm asking from our sister station, the host over there. I said, hey, can you let me in? I forgot my keys. He said, sure. And so he opens the door and lets me in the gate. And so I park as quickly as I can. And it is black ice. The whole parking lot is ice. There's no salt put down or anything. And he's holding the door for me because our key fob also gets us into the back door.
So you're feeling pressure to hurry up.
Yeah.
And I'm wearing boat shoes. And probably shorts.
Probably. And no jacket.
No jacket, of course. And so I'm trying to hurry, and I lose both feet. Both my feet go over my head. Whoa! And bam! On my back. And I just laughed. First of all, I couldn't get up quick.
No.
Even if I wanted to. And he's like, and I know he's trying not to laugh. He's like, are you okay? And I'm like, hey. I mean, I'm glad we're here this morning.
Never been better.
It's me
And the pain probably was excruciating.
And so I'm trying to get up and then trying to kind of ice skate in, like not picking my feet up because I didn't want to fall again.
Right.
I'm going super slow.
And the big crack is still there.
The pavement has never recovered. Matt, tell us about the time you embarrassed yourself getting hurt.
I went to a formal when I was in college, and
Don't know why that makes me laugh.
I forget what song was on, but it was something where everybody was dancing, and I went to kind of get low a little bit.
Oh.
And I tweaked something, and I was like, ow. And then when I went to move, I just split my pants.
Oh, gosh.
From the top of my belt all the way around to my taint area. Just the whole thing was split. And I remember standing up. I'm like, well, thank God it's dark.
Awful.
And I immediately walked over to the wall. I was more concerned about the pants than I was physically hurt, because the next day was when the physical pain came in, and I took my blazer off and tied it around my waist like a starter jacket so nobody could see my butt. And I begged the DJ to drive me home so I didn't have to ride the bus.
Love
I
it.
was like, I can't let people see this.
I cannot do this.
All right,
Oh,
800-682-1075. Shannon, tell us about the time you embarrassed yourself in public. By getting hurt.
Okay, so it's just crazy that you guys brought this up, because I was getting ready to embarrass myself telling this story on my TikTok. So this is a great practice. Anyways, one time I was working as a stripper, first time as a stripper.
Yeah, girl.
This girl comes out, and she climbs up the pole so fast, touches the ceiling, lays flat, and swirls back down.
Dang.
Me, I'm thinking, that looks so easy. Like, I'm going to do that next. So I got up there, and I tried to do the same thing. And when I went to lean down, I just kept going and fell on my head. I was so bad. I didn't know I just got back up and started dancing. I didn't even pay it no attention. I wasn't even embarrassed.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. What a pro.
You do
pro.
see sometimes. Every once in a while, you see a stripper all of a sudden do something that appears to be extremely dangerous.
Yeah.
She's way up there. She's goes double as much up the pole than most of them go. And then they do these spinning things, and they look down real quick and they stop.
Yeah.
I'm like, if they didn't accidentally do that, they would just smash through the floor, and that wouldn't be
down.
a pleasant night at the strip club.
It is a lot harder than it looks.
I
A lot
believe it.
harder.
Wait, when you fell, not that it would have made it any better, but were you totally topless when you did it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Doing things when you get hurt
Yeah.
and you're naked is a different level of embarrassment.
And it's not attractive.
Yeah.
All right, Shannon. Thank you for sharing. Let's go to Lenore. Lenore, tell us about the time you embarrassed yourself when you got hurt.
Oh, yeah. Good morning, guys.
Hi.
Right.
So my grown children had a party at my house, and my son is a licensed bartender. So, he was making these good drinks, and I was drinking them back. Well, my son says, Mom, I got one for you. And he puts on Michael Jackson, Remember the Time.
Uh-huh.
Well, in his video, his people are rolling backwards. When it says, remember the time, I'm going backwards, and the next thing I know, my foot comes out from under me, slaps my island, and I break my foot in 5 places.
Oh, my
no.
gosh.
5 places?
Ooh, that sounds painful.
That's not quite the moonwalk. Yeah.
The part was when I was sitting there, and of course it hurt, but I was also laughing because I was a little tipsy, and I opened my eye, and both of my grown boys are leaning over me, laughing, trying to help me up. And it was just a bet, and that was just the first time. The second time, that was the second time. The first time, I was at the club with my kids, and we're dancing, and we're doing the cha-cha, the one that goes that says "How low can you go?" And I got there, and I couldn't get up. I had to sit down on my butt and have somebody come over and help me up. So
Oh, my gosh.
I said, I'm done with
You got too low.
That can happen. That can happen.
You're just permanently there.
Like, Mom, we can't hang out with you anymore. Thank you so much. Great call.
Gosh.
Sierra, tell us about the time you embarrassed yourself in public when you got hurt.
So I was doing a TikTok challenge, and I had my feet through the armholes of my hoodie, and my head was in the hood part, so I was in a little ball, and I was walking on my feet, and I fell flat on my face, and I busted my nose and broke it.
Those TikTok
I
challenges.
know that there's tons of injuries from doing TikTok challenges,
Yeah.
all different ones.
Absolutely.
You know what the best part
Thank
is
you.
that she's like, I was doing that TikTok challenge. The one with my feet in the hoodie. Like, we know the one.
I don't remember, but I'm assuming that's probably one of them.
Right. And
We know the
smashed
one.
your face. Thank you. Steven, tell us about the time you got hurt in an embarrassing way.
So I love you guys. Good to be on the show. I go on a golf. Yeah, I go on a golf trip every year. 12 of my best friends. Spend probably 12, 13 years now. We're down in Florida. Everybody's hanging out after the pool, in the pool. Music's bumping, having a great time, just being stupid. And I decided to get up, and I'm walking with intention to go back into the house, and I don't realize that the sliding door's shut. And I slammed. I don't know how that door didn't shatter. I hit that so hard, I was stunned for 30 seconds. I had my my face was on that sliding door for the next 3 days. I can't go anywhere with these buddies now over the years trying to help me go through doors now. It's a total thing. It's so embarrassing.
Hold on, let me get that door for you. We know you don't see him that well.
Yeah, exactly.
That is
great.
great.
It's brutal.
Thank you,
So
Steven.
good.
Appreciate
That's
it.
hilarious.
Walking with intention.
Speed walking right into the.
Oh, my God. I can only imagine it, too, because
Yeah.
sometimes the doors are very
They
clear.
are,
In
yeah.
fact, there's actually been burglars sue the homeowner because the door was so clear because they ran through the door.
Oh, yeah,
That's
they're running
ridiculous.
away.
Yeah,
and,
that's
it's
ridiculous.
Shatter that get hurt. Let's go to Megan. Megan, tell us about the time you hurt yourself in an embarrassing way.
Okay, so the embarrassment was the hurt, but I was at my son's, I had a birthday party for my son at a trampoline park, and you know the little pit where you stand on the beam and you try to knock people off?
Yeah.
It's like jousting kind
I was like, I want to get on there, and I'm going to go against my son, and I'm really going to show him. So I get up there, and he showed me. I fell in that thing, and I could not get out for a good 10 minutes because I could not pick myself out. I had to wait until a big old buff man come over there and drag me out of that
my
thing. I
gosh.
could not get out. I was
That's
so embarrassed to do that.
That's horrific.
That
I
is
was so
embarrassing.
embarrassed.
That's
And to her point, because her son's not going to be able to take.
No.
When you go into those things, when I jumped off one and landed in a bunch of those foam things, they are hard to get out.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
like quicksand almost. I'm like, I can't get out. I start panicking. You're claustrophobic. You can't get out. And I'm kind of, I can imagine somebody not in shape or something like that trying to get out. It's almost impossible.
I've learned because last year was the first time I was like on boats on a lake.
Mm-hmm.
I learned before I got out of the boat how far does your ladder go down into the water?
Yes, you have to know.
And if
you
they don't
have
have
to
a
know.
ladder that comes with the back, I'm staying in the boat. There's no way I can
No.
crawl back into the boat.
No.
'Cause I've seen fat guys do it, and then their butt cracks out,
Uh-huh.
and
Yeah.
they're flailing away, and it's like this is embarrassing.
Well, the same for like if you've ever jumped in a pool that doesn't have a ladder.
Yes.
And then if you can't pull yourself out, it's terrible.
You're like, get out!
You're
You're
like,
like, I'm trying.
can't.
Like I try to find the stairs. I said last one. We got two more real quick. Sorry, and we do have secret sound. We haven't forgotten. So just so you know. All right, Sharon, tell us about the time you embarrassed yourself by getting hurt.
Okay, this was years and years ago, and I was working at McDonald's, and we used to have to bring this big ice bucket from the back up to the front to fill up the ice bins with.
Oh no!
Well, I have the ice bucket, in my arms, and this gorgeous guy walks in on the other side of the restaurant, and he's coming across there, and we're looking at each other, and I'm like, oh, God, he's so hot, he's so hot. And about that time, my foot hit a piece of ice on the floor, and my feet flew out from under me, and my ice flew across the floor, and he came and leaned over the counter and said, no one's ever felt quite that hard for me before.
He's slick.
Nice.
Did it work? Did you guys?
Only it is then, y'all.
Is he the father of your children?
Yeah, is he?
No, he is not.
He was like, I'll pass.
All right.
You did the original ice bucket challenge.
You did.
Yeah. And then one last one. Andrea, tell us about the time you embarrassed yourself in public getting hurt. Oh, I think we lost her.
Oh, no.
All right.
Metal, chair, desk combination, but
Hold on a second. Start over. We didn't hear the first part.
teaching
Okay.
and telling a story, and the desk was not very sturdy, and slowly the entire desk and chair flew backwards, and I hit my head on the concrete floor. But the funny part was none of my students noticed that I fell until my shoe flew across the room. And that's when they were like, wait, what happened? And I'm lying on the floor going, yeah, thanks a lot, guys. You didn't even notice I fell and hurt myself.
Oh my gosh! So you're standing on
shoe.
you were standing on a desk and the desk flipped out.
Yes.
Oh my!
That's
gosh,
terrible.
It's so embarrassing.
Yes.
You fall as an adult.
Yes.
It's the worst.
Ugh.
All right, great calls. We'll post on social media if you want to share your story there as well.